Good morning, good morning, good
Morning.
morning, and welcome to another Sunday morning celebration at the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. I am Carol Charlton, and I am the hostess this morning with Rev Ann, our assistant pastor. It's a lovely morning, isn't it? Nice and fresh. Some people are still curled up in their beds. I know that because I know some people who love rainy mornings or the mornings after the rain. But as we do in all things, let us begin with God. And together we acknowledge one power, one presence, God, omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, that which expresses in, through, and as each atom of its creation, expressing through each of us this morning, gathered together here for the Sunday morning celebration, already an event accomplished in the mind of God. And so we know that as we breathe together here, as we participate in this event, as we join our consciousness together, we celebrate our oneness with it. Our oneness which allows us to express joy, love, light in all our undertakings. Our oneness with it as we listen this morning to the words of encouragement, as we sing songs of celebration, as we immerse ourselves in this event. We know it is a moment of refreshing, a moment of recommitment, a moment in which we celebrate this wonderful day that the Lord has made. And so we rejoice. And we are glad to be in it because it is special. And so we relax, we let go, and we allow Spirit to take control of this moment and to express itself in, through, and as each of us fully in this moment we call now. And so, joyously, gladly, I release these words and accept now their fulfillment in our lives and affairs and in this moment today. Giving thanks now that all this is so. Okay, so let me welcome those who are just entering. And let me also extend a special welcome to those persons who are joining us on the web, that wonderful facility that allows us to be here even when we are there. I'd like to share with you an inspirational reading this morning, which is from a publication called the Joyous Freedom Journal for a Fuller Life. It's 365 Days of Inspiration, written by Petra Weldes and Christian Sorensen, who are ministers in somewhere in, well, I know that Petra is in Houston, I think. I'm not sure where the other gentleman is. The reading this morning is titled, Setting Your Course. You are free to choose your course in life. You choose the direction, then set the sails of your life to work with whatever winds blow. The biggest question to ask when setting your course is, where do I want to go? Where do you want to end up next week, next year, next decade? When you don't think about these things, you react to life's winds without purpose or direction. If you don't decide where you want to go, you'll most likely end up someplace else. Certainly, there are times to simply drive off in whatever direction suits your fancy. This can be a wonderful adventure full of serendipitous and wondrous experience. And you're free to choose that too. However, if you are concerned about where you may end up, or if you actually want to choose where you end up, then you have to set your course. So I leave with you this question. Where are you going? Indeed. And as we ponder, please join me in the chant. I am the light, a light in this world, and that's on page 2. And for the next few minutes, let's contemplate. I am a light in my world. So quietly now, from that place of light within us, we open our eyes and together our praise song, A Little More Oil. Upstanding. Little more oil in my lamp, I pray. A little more oil in my lamp, keep me burning. Keep me burning through the night and the day. The more oil in my heart, keep me growing. A little more love in my heart, I pray. A little more love in my heart to keep me growing. Keep me growing through the night and the day. Little more joy in my heart to keep me laughing. A little more joy in my heart, I pray. A little more joy in my heart to keep me laughing. Keep me laughing through the night and the day. A little more peace in the world to keep it turning. A little more peace in the world, I pray. Little more peace in the world to keep it turning. Keep it turning through the night and the day. And as you remain standing, let us now say the prayer of our center. And as you say it, I'd like you to think about each word, each phrase carefully and prayerfully. And we begin the Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living, is a sacred field embodying our spiritual community from which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate anyone who comes into contact with in any way. The light of the Christ illumines us, our center and our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God expands our consciousness of truth, guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom, spiritual growth, unfoldment, and attainment. We are blessed, and to God be the honor and the glory forever. And so it is. Amen. Please be seated. Let me now light the candle. Oh, we have a new candle this morning. So as I light the candle this morning, let us say the blessing of our children. We love you. We appreciate you. We salute the Christ in you. And we see you as shining lights onto your word. God is blessing you now. And so it is. We have Liam here this morning to represent all our children. So now, our mission song. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one in spirit on a mission. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. The temple of light, the temple of light, the temple of light. We are a people with a vision, one spirit on a mission. To touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us, anytime, night or day. Oh, I like to think that we are each of us a temple of light. And as we continue with our program, let us together say the affirmation of divine love at the bottom of page 3. Divine love is no perfect work here and now. Divine love harmonizes. Divine love adjusts. Divine love prospers. Divine love foresees everything and richly provides every good thing for this church now. Divine love is now victorious, and so it is. So, let me now tell you what we have this morning. We welcome again. Do we have any first-time visitors worshiping with us this morning on this beautiful Sunday morning? Oh, we're all family. We are all family. Let us behold the Christ in each other. You could turn to the person next to you. I behold the Christ in you. I behold the Christ in you. And if you are a first-timer online, we welcome you to our hearts. We behold the Christ in you. There is in your program a listing of the significant events, and I'd invite you to take it with you, take it home with you, so that you can refer to it during the course of the week, so that you can join us at any of the events that is convenient to you or that you're interested in. But there are some special items that we note this morning, and the first one is right after service. There's Wisdom Circle. So please join Angela Elliott as she continues to explore the ideas in the Science of Successful Living, which is a book authored by Raymond Charles Barker. A very rich reading of this science, I like to call it, this teaching, and it really illumines and enables us to see some things more clearly and to examine and analyze them for ourselves. And then on Tuesday at 6, join Reverend Sonia Davidson for a spiritual mind healing service, an event which you should not miss. There's a link that is shared by email, and just in case you're not on that link, before you go home this morning, please pass it either to Reverend Ann or to Mrs. Morris. This is the first week of the month, so on Wednesday, there's the usual labyrinth walk for peace. So join the Ambassador for Peace, Carl Livingston, on Wednesday and walk the labyrinth to deepen our consciousness of peace and harmony in our community and our island, Jamaica. That group meets at 5:30 in the evening. Calling all fathers, stepfathers, grandfathers, godfathers. Let's celebrate dads on Sunday, June 18, from 11 to 2. Come for informative talks on men's health, grooming tips, financial planning, car care, vehicle security, and much more. Refreshments will be provided, and there's a contribution of $1,000. Tell your families, friends, and neighbors to come out and celebrate dads at our Temple of Light. And then, on Saturday, June 24th, from 2 to 4, right here at the temple, there is a workshop titled The Art of Financial Planning. Our approved financial counselor, Denise Williams, will assist you in developing the vision for your cash flow by creating a tree of your own design of your financial plan. A contribution of $2,000 per individual is required. And if you bring 5 friends, your contribution is waived. Labor Day, which was on the 23rd of May, just gone. The Ministry of the Environment is expressing its gratitude to all participants and sponsors. And a member of the team, actually I see 2 approaching, will just share with you some details.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Courtney Johnson, and I have Dr. Shima here. We both are members of the Ministry of Environment. And please excuse my voice. And we are really proud to report on Labor Day. We noticed, I was looking at the audience, and I know that a lot of you have contributed, although you were not present, and 2/3 of the persons here were not physically present, although they might have made contribution otherwise. And I know that their consciousness are very supportive of the Ministry of Environment's activities. We had 32 persons in attendance, and we had 8 clusters of activities. We call them stations. I start with outside, where we have a conversation, Q&A on composting by Dr. Lindsay, and for that we are most appreciative. We had cleanup activities on the lawn, and Rev Ann was very instrumental in leading that cluster, that station. We are painting of benches in the meditation gardens by the youth group, spearheaded by Laura Jones, and for that we are most appreciative. It's work in progress, it's not finished, so we will have to find some time to continue. We have the rubble, not removal, but the stacking of the rubbles from there, just work in progress. And outside also, a very creative innovation, making of vases, decorative vases from bottles that you throw away. And it was led by Dr. Shima. On the inside, the dusting and the cleaning of those paintings that you see. And I must tell you that 2 ladies had to run because lizards were behind them. But it was for fun. And tapestry making, led by Shirley Pond, that took place in the book room, and some abstract art. And they were cleaning off the cupboards also. And we also had an interesting auction by Dr. Lilieth, and the provision of entertainment. For the evaluation, we evaluated the persons using many factors and so on. But I must tell you, for the entertainment and the refreshment, we get a perfect score from all the respondents. So all in all, the work is still continuing. Many persons were insightful of the tremendous, outstanding activities that is needed on the property to keep it up to date. And so we will have to arrange similar type activities in the future. One of the evaluations that we got is that we need more people. It is not that we had too much food. Of course, we had 12 baskets of leftover in soup. Forget them. But it is not that the food was too much. It was that the people needed more persons to consume it. And for that, we are most appreciative of the support, and we know that the Ministry of Environment keeps rising and rising and rising. And of course, you want to just say thank you.
Just want to thank everybody for coming out. We had a wonderful support, and a lot of people came out. And we are hoping that next year will be bigger and even better, and we'll get more support. Thank you so much for all of your support.
Thank you, Courtney and Shimo. Let's look forward to bigger and better. So may I now ask you to turn to the flyer in your, before I go there, please, I just want to remind you, remember now that prayer support is always available to you. We continue to respond to all your requests for prayer, and a practitioner is available to pray with you immediately following today's service. And that person this morning is practitioner Steve Golding, and the number to call is 876-289-0907. And similarly, if you want to speak to a practitioner anytime from 8 until midnight, Monday to Friday, that number is available, 876-289-0907. And pastoral counseling is available as well. And you may call the office for appointments. Family, we are grateful always for your generosity and for the gifts you bring to us, for helping us to help us to be a beacon of light in the world. And if you wish to continue to support our ministry financially, kindly visit our donate page at donate.templeoflightcsl.org, which has our banking details. Thanks, as together we support a world that works for everyone. And this concluding the announcements, I'm asking you now to pick up the flyer and join me in the first hymn, Why, on a
Why be filled with all thy worry? Why be filled with all thy doubt? Why should we go hurry-scurry and in circles race about? God will lead, shall ever guide us, and forever holds the key. Why should we let darkness hide us when the light will set us good cheer now fill our being, and the joy of life be thine. May direction of our seeing find the power of God divine. With assurance now behold it, as our voice in song we raise, and perceiving now enfold it, and be filled with love and praise.
Please be seated. And may I now present this morning's speaker, the Rev Ann Shand, who has prepared for you this morning an encouragement which will throw some light on some of these questions that we were just asking ourselves in that hymn that we just saw. Reverend Shand.
Thank you, Carol. Good morning, everyone. Let me add my own words of welcome to our beloved Temple of Light, Center for Spiritual Living. This is a glorious property. Who have a property that has 4 poincianas and all of them are have a different shade?
Yes.
We have it here. So, please, friends, just walk the property sometimes and just realize that we are members of this community and this property belongs to each and every one of us. So love and blessings on this beautiful day. That message went out to Susan because she has an interest in the different colors of the poinciana. Friends, our vision remains our beacon as we use every opportunity to live our mission. We are a lighthouse of collective consciousness, revealing love, peace, joy, and prosperity to all. Our responsibility is to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, to love and liberate anyone who comes into contact with us. So my thoughts this morning are about our responsibility. Responsibility. Our ability to respond to and with the curveballs of life. Those people who play cricket know what I'm talking about, don't they? Right? When you think the ball coming straight, it comes from a different angle, and God help you if your bat not in the right place. But we have the ability to even fend off the curveballs of life. Meister Eckhart, German Catholic theologian born around 1260, it is said that the central theme of his sermons is the presence of God in the individual soul. I share this quote from him. I have spoken at times of a light in the soul, a light that is uncreated and uncreatable, to the extent that we can deny ourselves and turn away from created things. We shall find our unity and blessing in that little spark in the soul which neither space nor time touches, end of quote. We shall find our unity and blessing in that little spark of our souls. Our hymns and inspirational reading turn us to the direction of realizing the light of our souls, the presence of God in us, as us is us. As Carol is saying, you have to know which direction you're going. But remember that we have everything that is necessary for us to propel us forward and to allow the sails to be just filled with the light of our vision and the wind of success and prosperity. So yes, this light that we have in our souls, which is the presence of God in us, as us, can only lead us to experience our oneness, that close connection with our greater self, which is God, that creator, and also our lives unfolding as that which we call our purpose, or reason for being. With it also the direction necessary to experience the blessings of who we are to ourselves and to others in the grand scheme of life on this plane of existence. That spark of our souls point us in the direction of that life purpose by the things that we love to do, the feelings we express when we do and give from that platform of who we have come here to be. So our purpose, we can always think about it by the things that you love to do and how you feel when you do it. And then know that platform will inform you what direction to fulfill that purpose that gives you such great joy. For example, Reverend Elma, she loved to teach. So wherever you found her, she used every opportunity to teach something of value. She was a nurse, a religious science teacher, and even when she retired, she still found avenues to express that purpose, which was teaching the science of mind, science of mind and spirit. What about us? Yes, we have done all the things in life. We have the profession, we have accumulated all that we need. But yet there is something there. Some of us have placed the corporate Jamaica behind us, but we still find ourselves in positions that we can mentor others, teach others. So you know exactly where the trend, the tendency for what you are to us, as us, on this plane of existence and the direction that you're going, by the things that you love to do. You're staying home, yes, but you still find little events, persons to communicate with and to gather with. And when you look at the essence of those conversations, you know the direction your soul is moving towards. You get what I'm talking about now? Right. Good. So therefore, our responsibility is to understand our life's purpose that is encrypted in that spark of our souls and let it shine and lift ourselves to find and reflect our own light of life. And guess what? You give others permission to find their own lights as well. The combined shining of our collective lights ushers in the beauty and majesty of God. Meister Eckhart reminds us that that light includes the uncreated, which means the potential that we have, and the uncreatable. We cannot be what we are not. So if you are meant to be an Indian chief, there's no way you are going to be a surgeon. Because that your soul reaches out to something that is essentially you. Because, for instance, there are some people who can't cook, not even to save them life. But there are others, even if they give you a glass of water, there's something, they put love in that glass of water that you know, that they are transmitting something to you. You know those people who cook with love? And yet in the same household, the same people, they can't cook to save their lives. So it goes, We have the potential within each one of us to do and to be what we were meant to be on this plane of existence. Dr. Holmes, in a quote, assists us in the deepening of our awareness of our responsibility to be truly beacons, directional, as well as radiating your own essence. He says, I have no responsibility except to create the right kind of mental receptivity. That is the truth. Thus, we who are seeking to demonstrate, we know that all we have got to do is to realize that the use of the mind in a positive, formative way, and the mind or power which creates everything and projects will do the rest for us. So we use our mind in a positive and formative way. He says, until we come to the point where we see that this is all we have to do, it is all thought. No matter how hard we struggle, we could do nothing else. All we have to do is to take up the attitude of the expectant receiver, realizing we are scientifically using the law. Think properly. Use your mind in a positive, formative way, and the law will do the rest. You don't have to tell the law how to demonstrate what it is that you are going, the direction in which you are going. You just make sure that the mold is complete in your mind. And how you use the mold? The words and your feelings. And the law now translates that into the material parts of avenues for you to go in the direction of the desires of your heart. Simply, our responsibility is to use our mind through thought in a positive, formative way. And as an expectant receiver, the law must manifest and demonstrate our desired good. The cues come from within, the light from our soul's desires, that light which points us in the direction of our life's unfoldment. Remember, light metaphysically means wisdom and truth. We are receptive to the intelligence from within, which projects through our minds ideas which assist us in going forward. Ideas that build our character, raise our consciousness to express the truth of our being. Our Declaration of Principles 12 and 13 state, we believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the eternal givingness of life to all. We believe in our own soul, our own spirit, and our own destiny, for we understand that the life of man is God. You know, Dr. Holmes, the explanation behind those two declarations, he says that to become alive and to build the greatest lives, we must become something more, something worthwhile. Friends, everything conspires for us to realize who we are, the life of God, and the eternal goodness and loving kindness and givingness of spirit allow us to fashion and nurture, create a life that is worthwhile. So no matter what seeming errors we have made to express our true selves, in the present moment, when you become aware of who you are and the direction that you're coming, the true nature that is within allows us to make that shift. So what? Our responsibility is to remain focused by mentally opening our minds to receive the cues to express life at a higher vantage point. We are always given the chance to express Spirit's highest execution of who we really are. Our responsibility is to change the ruts or the comfort zone and conceive of a greater expression of life. This light, this spark of our souls cannot be violated by anything. Neither time nor space is relevant to our advancement. So you can't use age that you can't find your purpose. Enough said, right? We have the authority to shape our destiny by our very nature, which is the originating creative principle that is within us at all times, just waiting on us to give us the mold to work with. We have the responsibility to transform our seeming inadequacies because we have accepted stories that are not true about our capacity and the ability to change our lives unfolding to what we have come here to be. And as I said before, it has nothing to do with age or station or education. The fact is that we have all come here to be a specific part of this glorious pattern of life. Here we are as a community. We all want a vision of what it is that this community must morph into by 2030. I challenge you that every piece of that puzzle is within each one of us. So each of us carrying the solution. And it's when you put it together, work together, then you have this wonderful masterpiece called the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living. And yes, we have frustrations when you try to fit that piece and it don't fit properly. It just means that another piece is missing. Or maybe we just need to know exactly where we are to fit. Everybody in here has a part to play with that wonderful masterpiece of where we are going in 2030. And that is the reason why we're so passionate about our church. And if any little thing, we quarrel amongst ourselves, but the fact is, we know where we are going. We know what we are looking for, a church, a community that touch, heal, bless, love, and liberate. That is the mission of our temple, and all of us have the pieces within us, and it must fit together in 2030 to the direction. Because guess what? We have the generations of the Liams coming up who are relying on us to do what we are supposed to do, is to provide a facility that allows them to grow. If you did not listen to Lifeline, Gregory Robinson, then you missed something, because you see the tendency for this young man who was grown up in this temple with this teaching, and you see how he has allowed it to just blossom in his life. And all those young people that we know, and there are plenty of them. So we are, as a community, we have to fit the pieces together to allow our community to blossom. And this is our responsibility. So let us affirm together: the light within me directs my unfoldment into that which I came to express. The light within me directs my unfoldment into that which... Exactly that. And the fact is that all of us have families and communities that we are a part of. If you are missing out of that household or that community, it's not the same. Because the energy that you bring, the information that you bring, the experience that you bring is just the right and correct information for that community or for that business or for that household. Everybody is special to where you want to go or where you want to place yourselves. Eckhart reminds us that to the extent we can deny ourselves and turn away from created things, we should find our unity and blessing. To the extent that we can deny the seeming inconsistencies beyond the issues and challenges that may confront us. Yes, they are facts, but they're not the truth. We treat ourselves or affirm for ourselves to realize this unity and blessing which is ours by divine right of being. And we must demonstrate that in our experiences. So as we look away from the sameness and the comfort of the past demonstrations and open ourselves to a greater realization of who we are, we continue to refine our conscious awareness, which leads to expansion in our life's unfoldment. We are always open to a greater understanding of our continuous evolution as individuals, as the ideas come at us to manifest, because we are each here to touch, to heal, to bless, to prosper, and to liberate ourselves. For those who come into contact with us by thought or by physical presence. So we must respond positive to life. We cannot allow ourselves to react with fear, doubt, and uncertainty. We must cultivate a larger concept of our talents and abilities and allow the law to guide us to the direction of expansion and ultimate application of what we know and what we believe. We are here to bless our world into a world that works for everyone. And I'll remind you of that quote from Marianne Williamson. She says, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. It's not just in some of us, it is in everyone. As we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others, end of quote. You know, she goes on to say she's a real activist. She says, a miracle worker is an artist of the soul. There's no higher art than living a good life. There is no higher art than living a good life. An artist informs the world of what's available behind the masks we wear. So when you take off the mask, all of us, it's what we bring, what we shine, that let our world work for everyone. So who are we not to be gorgeous? Who are we not to be gorgeous, friends. Shine it. That is what we are here for. Our ability, as summarize, our ability to respond appropriately to life, right, is to find our unity and blessing in the spark of our own souls. We use our minds in a positive and formative way, opening ourselves to something more and worthwhile. And as Marianne Williamson reminds us, we were meant to shine. We were born to make manifest the glory of God within us. So in so doing, from the artistry of our own souls, we experience Spirit's highest idea of who we have come here to be. In the last class with Reverend John, the public speaking class, he gave us a homework. It says to tell a story or highlight the science of mind, principles in it, and why we chose that particular story. And I wanted to share the one that I chose. And it's from the standpoint of responsibility. This young man in the story, it came from Norman Vincent Peale's book, Courage and Confidence. He responded to life in a manner that was a blessing. His name was Pete Wakefield. And he was not the most friendly person in that small town. He operated a business that he had inherited. This little shop had a disarray of old-fashioned things, bracelets, lockets, lockets from the days before the Civil War. You can't just imagine how old. Gold rings, silver boxes, images of jade, ivory, and porcelain. One very cold afternoon, this little child stood in front of his display window. She used her enormous, earnest eyes, seeking out something special in that disarray of treasures. With a satisfied air, she entered the shop. The interior had even more clutter, and there was no indication from the stacks of things that they had any particular use or origin. Clutter, clutter, clutter. Pete, though, young man, his hair was already turning to gray, viewed his small customer with a sense of bleakness. The little girl did not let his manner deter her and requested the string of blue beads that was in the display window. He moved towards the window, and it was at that point it was noticeable that his hand was useless. A war wound had rendered the hand completely useless. Anyway, the turquoise stones of the necklace gleamed very brightly in the palm of his hand. And the little young girl exclaimed, "They are perfect. Will you wrap them up pretty for me?" Pete asked the most obvious questions. "Are you buying them for someone?" The response was, "Yes, they're for my big sister. She takes care of me. You see, we haven't any mother anymore. I've been looking for this most wonderful Christmas present for Sis." She poured out 11 pennies from her knotted handkerchief on the counter with the information that she had emptied her bank. 11 pennies. Pete quickly removed the price tag so she would not see that her 11 pennies could not pay for it. The trusting eyes catapulted Pete into making the decision to wrap the necklace in his best paper and ribbon. Price was not important here. The child reminded him of a lost love and unbearable grief that would stay buried. He lived in solitude, politely attentive to customers, but he had no friends. Her trusting eyes reminded him of a distant but real memory of his dead fiancée. Anyway, the next day, a young woman came into the shop resembling the young girl. She placed the package on the counter and asked if it came from his shop. He responded yes, and to the questions about the quality of the gems, he noted they were of the finest quality, and the cost was $37. You can just imagine $37 in the Civil War days. You know it's a lot of money. Anyway, 11 pennies couldn't certainly pay for $37. The sister argued that her little sister did not have that kind of money to pay for the gift. Pete rewrapped the gift, gave it to her, and stated, she paid the biggest price anyone could ever pay. She gave all she had. Now, what is in that story for us? This young man who had no joy was open and receptive to this bright, shining love in this child for her sister, and he was able to fulfill her desire. A life filled with the clutter of the past, the grief and the loss, Yet the shining love of this child was able to initiate a process of transformation. He was able to give, and as the story ended, he left the shop with the big sister and the promise of a new love. A simple story, but the principle of the power of the mind to control conditions and the eternal goodness, the eternal givingness of spirit to life to enable this little lady to come in with love and admiration and transform this young man's heart from a desolate way of living into a heart open to new promises of love and respect. Science of mind, use the thought to transform what it is that you are going after. The law will give you what it is that the dominant thought of your mind, right, is announcing. So that leads me to the metaphysics behind the parable of the talents. Matthew 25:14-30 or Luke 19:11-17. Please read it when you have some time. Charles Fillmore, in his Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, reminds us of what talents really mean. The literal talent is a measure of silver, but he's saying that talents metaphysically are the spiritual gifts of love, life, truth, substance, intelligence, faith, power, judgment, will. In fact, every inherent attribute of man's being having roots in God is that spark of light and life that is within your soul. I will highlight the verses of significance and the importance of this use of our inherent God-given attributes that is embedded in our souls. Our responsibility, friends, is to fully utilize what we have internally. From verse 14 in Matthew 25, it says, "The kingdom of heaven is like a man traveling into a far country who called his servants and delivered unto them his goods. And unto one he gave 5 talents, and to another 2, and to another 1. To every man according to his several ability, and straightway he took his journey. He that had 5 talents went out and traded with the same and made 5 others. And likewise, the one who received 2, he also gained another 2. But he who received 1 went and digged in the earth and hid his Lord's money." Now, the rest you're going to have to read for yourself. Now, Irving Seal, in his book, Learn to Live, has given a very thought-provoking metaphysical background to the use of our talents, the gifts that we have been given. He states, and I quote, "There is no mystery in the matter of increasing one's wealth by wise investment in this world. But to handle the real money or silver and gold of life is another matter. But it is the burden of the parable. Jesus says that a man investing his money wisely in this world and doubling it is like the kingdom of heaven. The money of the kingdom of heaven, friends, is simply our consciousness, our awareness. He states mind is the only buying power in the world. Believe greatly and you can buy greatly. Believe little and you won't have enough money to earn a living. You understand that? That if you don't believe in yourself and what it is you're going after, not even the money to spend on everyday things you're going to find, you have to believe greatly in order to experience greatly. So friends, this use of our awareness, the spark of light in expressing our spiritual gifts, allow us to live in unity, be a blessing, use our mind to create a positive way of being, a life that is always expressing great ideas, which is truly making life worthwhile. Seal explains that with the currency of consciousness, we are all like the 5-talent man. But those who realize the development of our internal spiritual senses is what doubles the experiencing of living life more abundantly. The talents that you have, plus how you develop your internal spiritual senses is what doubles the experience of living life more abundantly. Our responsibility is the degree in which we take the time and effort to expand our awareness and practice truth principles by using our various spiritual practices to hone our life's unfoldment. It takes discipline to sense our world of affairs from a spiritual standpoint and allow courage and strength to keep our eyes single. With that focus, we expand our realization of a deeper faith and an expanded awareness in the eternal goodness and givingness of spirit in us as us. The two-talent man is experiencing much the same expansion, but his ability to experience more of life givingness and potential is directly proportional to the level of discipline that is applied to practice. The one-talent man doubts, fears, and waits on the external world for the cues to react to the issues of life unfoldment. This one talent, my friends, is our ability to think, which we sometimes bury under the weight of the external form, rather than move towards developing our mental attitude and altitude to expressing life more abundant. Seal states something very definitive, and I quote, "Use your consciousness of the presence of God in the rough and tumble of the world, or you will lose it. There is no peace save to the strong. The one-talent man, with his practice of ignoring or not using his own power of thought, will soon forget he has any." So if you don't use it, you will lose it. And when you need it, you won't find it, because you're not accustomed to think positively and formatively. Therefore, friends, our responsibility is to use the authority of our minds to manifest a life that is filled of infinite potential, displaying our spiritual gifts to allow a world and a community that works for everyone. Friends, everyone has a part to play. Everyone is a child of God, meant to manifest the glory of that which created us out of itself. And collectively, when we shine, this temple becomes a beacon to the community, Jamaica, and the cosmos. I end with words from Dr. Holmes. He says, "Talk, live, act, believe, and know that you are a center in this one. All the power there is, all the presence there is, all the love there is, all the peace there is, all the good there is. The only God there is omnipresent right where we are. Consequently, the infinite is in and through man, and is in and through everything. Act as though I am, and I will be." End of quote. Now begins the practice. Now begins the practice, my friends. Act, and it will be. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Ann. Thank you. You gave us a very powerful affirmation, which I'm going to ask us to say now. The light within me directs my unfoldment into that which I came to express. Please repeat.
The light within me directs my unfoldment into that which I came to be, to express.
You can use that this week. Sorry. Because there is that, I keep thinking of that little spark of within our souls that we sing, we sang earlier.
And the light and the
Yes.
shine so bright. We shine and we shine and we shine so bright, and we shine and we shine and we shine so bright.
So now, Someone is going to shine now as the musical item. Let that light so shine as Lilieth Nelson.
This is a potpourri of musical items. The musicians remind us of our responsibility. When we wake up in the morning and 3 little birds are on our doorstep, singing sweet songs with melody pure and true, how are we able to respond? No worry about a thing, for every little thing is gonna be all right. Singing, don't worry about a thing, for every little thing is gonna be all right. You are free to join with me any of these songs. So sang Bob Marley and the Wailers. Yes, we are able to respond with praise for life, as Chronix reminds us, and he advises, oh, every morning I rise, I stare at the sun. I know it is a blessing. So when the evening comes, I lift up my eyes to the hills. I'm blessed. Oh man, with my 2 hands in the air, as far as I can. And when Mikey Bennett and other Jamaican musicians advise us to rise up, stand and take your place, shine like the sun, stand like the brave, rule your destiny, be the best that you can be. We know we must put into action our ability to respond with fortitude. In response to the goodness and guidance of the Creator, we undertake the task, as Tennessee Ernie Ford advises us, to love someone more dearly every day, to help a wandering child to find his way, to ponder o'er a noble thought and pray, and smile when evening falls, and smile when evening falls. This is my task, to follow truth as blind men long for light, to do my best from dawn of day till night, to ponder o'er a noble thought and pray, and smile when evening falls, and smile when evening falls. This is our task. And Diana Ross reminds us that our responsibility is to reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place. If you can, take a little time out of your busy day to give encouragement to someone who's lost his way. So reach out and touch somebody's hand, make this world a better place. If you can, reach out and touch to praise if you can. So with Jason Ingram, Brian Johnson et al., our responsibility to our divine creator from the moment we wake up until we lay our head is, and join me, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Deandra and everybody, join me. Oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. That's our responsibility. All my life I have been faithful, and all my life you have been so, so good. And every breath that I am able, I will sing of the goodness of God. That's our responsibility.
When Angela asked me my theme, I never knew it could morph into something so beautiful and wonderful. Thanks, Lilieth, and thanks, Angela. Yes, friends, the goodness of God is available to us all. And the birthday people of June, you think I forgot you. No, I made you were serenaded. So please stand and let us celebrate with you. Any June borns in here? Except Janet, only Janet? Well, I know quite a few.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Janet.
No man, we have loved ones watching us now.
Happy birthday to you. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. Happy birthday to you.
So as we celebrate that wonderful life of God, which is expressing itself in through all the persons who have a birthday this month, I know that as channels for its purest light, life, joy, I know that the direction of their souls allow them to just be that receiver of God's gifts, the gifts of peace and joy and prosperity, perfect health that continue to overflow in their lives and affairs. I know together as a community, we celebrate these loved ones and know for them as they step forward into a new year, they step with strength and with courage and with the faith that know that all is well in their world of affairs, and they are the beacons of light and God's representative on this plane of existence. We know this for them. We celebrate God's richest blessings in through as their experience now. And I give thanks that the Lord now receives these words and manifests a pure and perfect experience for them all. This is the truth. I know that it is so, and so it is. Let us stand together and sing our last hymn. A golden dawn is breaking. The prayer of our Jamaica. We're on our feet already. That is also on a flyer in the program. Together, the radiant light of God's love is now flowing through us and from us to everything and everyone it touches. The eternal light of God's love now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island Jamaica. the glowing intensity of the light of God's love now interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen and women the truths of life we set free. The light of God's love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere. Love, health, harmony, goodwill, peace, uprightness, integrity, joy, prosperity, kindness, and our oneness under God are now established, and so it is.
The golden dawn is breaking, the shades of night will flee, and sons of men are waking, the light of truth shall see. We hail its light with gladness, our hearts burst into song, for truth will conquer sadness, and joy shall reign ere long. The golden day is dawning, and light of truth appears. The first bright ray of morning dispels our darkest fears. With peace and loving kindness transforming every heart, the day of joy and gladness shall nevermore depart. The golden day advancing now sheds a wondrous light, and rays of truth enhancing make all things pure and bright. The sons of men beholding find greater goals to win, for now we see unfolding the light of God within.
Can we take our love offering? And the blessing is on the envelope. Together, lovingly I give, joyfully I receive. Be thou fruitful, increase, and multiply. Bless, prosper, and enrich everyone whom you touch, and replenish all of my financial affairs. So be it. Thank you, Father, and so it is. We truly give thanks that each one of us, as a temple of light, and temples of light wherever we find ourselves, I know that the love offering blessings from our hearts that uplift, enlighten, and prosper are indeed God in perfect action in, through, as us. We give thanks for this collective consciousness in this sanctuary and those online joining us. I know it's a consciousness that blesses our world of affairs and all those who come into contact with us. I know that as we go forward to our separate assignments, I know that we are a blessing wherever we find ourselves. We bloom wherever we are placed. And indeed, as our lives flourish and we thrive, we indeed just allow that light of the Christ consciousness to shine forth, radiating this entire plane of existence. This is our truth, as I release my word to that law and know that it is so, and so it is. And our peace song will sing light instead. And while you're singing, you can take up your love offerings and place them in the box.
Yes, there is light on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is light on earth, the light represents to me. With God as our power, Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, yes, this is my joyous moment. To take each moment and live each moment in light eternally. Yes, there is light on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is light on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
Thank you, friends, for joining us. And our reminders, remember, we have Angela right after the morning service. On Tuesday, we have Reverend Sonia at 6. We have Walking the Labyrinth on Wednesday. We have classes on Thursday night. Wow. We have dads calling all the men out on Father's Day. We have a financial planning workshop. Wow, the life of the temple is just active and full, right? And also, UFBL, the mother church for our sister church. They are celebrating 49 years, and we say kudos to them as well. They're having a special day on Sunday, June 11th, their Founders' Day. Imagine. So, friends, give thanks for all of us and our consciousness. Have a great day, and see you here next week with Reverend Michael Record.